History often told us Europe's kings and queens were all, well, white. But what if that wasn't the whole story? What if entire bloodlines of black monarchs and nobles ruled, married into powerful families, and even minted their own coins, only to have their portraits quietly whitewashed or locked away in dusty archives? In the next few minutes, we're going to meet 5 of them and uncover exactly how their incredible legacies were systematically erased. Are you ready to unlearn what school never dared to teach? Good, because this is going to be a fascinating journey. Take a stroll through Europe's grand castles, and you'll find tapestries depicting crusaders and kings. But lean in a little closer, zoom in on those faces. And you might just notice darker visages wearing crowns long before the era of colonial slavery tried to paint race as synonymous with powerlessness. These weren't just servants or exotic figures in the background. They were dynasts, powerful individuals whose very existence, whose very skin tone, seemed to offend later storytellers. Once we start to see this pattern emerge, the question stops being a naive, "Did they even exist?" and transforms into a much more pointed query. Who exactly benefits if we forget these stories? It's a crucial distinction, isn't it? Because history isn't just about what happened, it's about who gets to tell it and why. First on our list, stepping right out of the Italian Renaissance, is Alessandro de' Medici, often nicknamed Il Moro, which means the Moor or the Black One, born around 1510. His story is a whirlwind of power, intrigue, and undeniable racial visibility. His mother, Simonetta, was an African freedwoman, and while his paternity is often debated, many historians believe he was the son of Lorenzo di Piero de' Medici, or perhaps even Giulio de' Medici, who later became the incredibly influential Pope Clement VII. Imagine that. In 1532, thanks to Pope Clement's shrewd political chess game and a bit of military might, Alessandro was installed as the first Duke of Florence. This wasn't some minor title. He inherited the leadership of one of the most culturally and economically vibrant cities in Europe. Court gossip, naturally, snickered about his curly hair and his distinctly darker skin. Yet, for 5 turbulent years, his signature stamped every single law, every decree, every important document. He commissioned magnificent palaces, patronized groundbreaking artists like Michelangelo, and maintained an iron grip on the Republican factions who constantly plotted his downfall. Their propaganda branded him a tyrant, but let's be honest, the real issue for many was a black man holding the city's purse strings and wielding ultimate power in Renaissance Italy. His assassination in 1537, orchestrated by his own cousin Lorenzino, was a brutal end to a powerful reign. And what happened next is truly telling. His Medici cousins, who promptly took over, immediately began bleaching his image in paintings. Today, if you visit the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, you might find his portrait labeled merely illegitimate, rarely, if ever. The first black head of a European state. If you Google his portraits, pay close attention. Notice how later copies subtly, surgically, yet incredibly effectively lighten his complexion. It's a quiet act of historical revisionism, but powerful nonetheless. Now, let's fast forward a couple of centuries and hop across the channel to Britain. Princess Sophia Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz married King George III in 1761, becoming the United Kingdom's longest-serving consort. Her story is equally fascinating, and perhaps even more hotly debated. Genealogists, particularly over the last few decades, have traced her lineage back to Portugal's Alfonso III and his Moorish mistress, Madragana. This isn't just some vague claim. Contemporary diaries and letters from her era often describe her mulatto visage, her wide nostrils, and other features that were, shall we say, unusual for a European royal of her time. Sir Allan Ramsay, a notable abolitionist painter, even emphasized some of these features in several of his portraits of Queen Charlotte. Canvases that still hang proudly in Windsor Castle today. Yet, what do our school books tell us? They often reduce her to the queen who supposedly lost the American colonies, completely ignoring the fact that she was a passionate botanist who founded the magnificent Kew Gardens, a forward-thinking patron of the arts, and a champion of early vaccination efforts. And, crucially, they ignore the very real possibility that she passed African ancestry directly into today's British royal line. When these rumors resurfaced more prominently in the 1990s, Buckingham Palace dismissed them as unprovable, which, let's face it, is a rather neat way to keep the family tree looking impeccably snow white. Here's a thought. If embracing diversity strengthens brands and fosters connection in the modern world, why is this chapter of royal history still treated like some scandalous secret? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Lesser known, but equally telling in this pattern of erasure, is the intriguing tale of Gideon, often simply referred to as the Black Boy. This wasn't just any boy. He was a Guinean prince, presented to King James IV of Scotland in 1505. Now, this wasn't some mere curiosity. King James took Gideon under his wing, educating him alongside the Stuart heirs, and, in a truly remarkable gesture, knighted him Gideon de Ross. Not only that, but he granted Gideon land near Inverness, integrating him directly into the Scottish aristocracy. Scottish chroniclers of the time, far from being dismissive, actually bragged about their Moorish knight, a testament to the cultural openness of that specific era. But then tragedy struck. King James died heroically on Flodden Field in 1513, and almost immediately, Gideon vanished from the historical records, his name no longer appearing in charters or court documents. His bloodline, however, didn't disappear. It likely merged into the powerful Highland clans, whose modern descendants today might sport dark skin and ginger beards, yet adamantly swear they're purely Celtic. It's a fascinating paradox. What's more, Clan Ross historians, in their 19th century attempts to solidify a purely white tartan narrative, quietly removed Gideon's entry from their official annals. Inconvenient facts, it seems, can be easily edited out when a certain narrative needs to be maintained. Let's travel south now, all the way to 16th century Vienna, where we encounter another remarkable figure, Ludwig von Mohr. Ludwig was Emperor Ferdinand I's trumpeter, a position of considerable trust and visibility. The story goes that he saved the emperor from a terrifying runaway carriage incident, an act of sheer bravery that earned him more than just a thank you. In recognition of his heroism, Ferdinand I ennobled Ludwig, granting him letters patent that bestowed upon him a coat of arms. And what was on that crest? A golden trumpet set against a Moor's head. This isn't just a historical footnote. That very crest still proudly tops the facade of Vienna's magnificent Hofburg Palace. Yet, if you pick up a modern guidebook, you'll likely find it described as symbolic exoticism, a vague nod to a bygone era, rather than an admission that a real, living black man earned real nobility through a heroic deed. The erasure continues through his descendants. His great-grandson, Karl von Moor, became a general under the formidable Empress Maria Theresa. Yet, by 1890, museum curators had conveniently relabeled his portrait, transforming him into a Turkish officer. It's the same insidious tactic, isn't it? Acknowledge the service, acknowledge the achievement, but subtly, definitively, erase the race. It's a pattern we see again and again. Our journey now takes us to the Iberian Peninsula, a place where the lines between Europe and Africa were, for centuries, beautifully blurred. For 7 long centuries, the Moors people of North African and Arab descent ruled Al-Andalus, a vibrant, sophisticated civilization that profoundly shaped Spain and Portugal. When Ferdinand and Isabella finally conquered Granada in 1492, marking the end of the Reconquista, hundreds of mixed heritage nobles, many with significant Moorish ancestry, converted to Christianity, managing to keep their land and titles. One such family, the de Mendoza Moors, owned vast estates in Murcia and held significant influence. Their 17th-century heir Ambrosio even served as the powerful viceroy of Navarre, governing on behalf of the Spanish crown. But as the Bourbon dynasty rose to power, and Spain sought to project a more pure, European identity, things began to shift. The surname Moor was explicitly banned from court registers. By 1750, family portraits, once proudly displayed, were relegated to storage, and written records started subtly swapping Moor for Morit, then simply Moreno, meaning dark-skinned, and finally, just Martin within a mere 3 generations. A prominent Afro-Islamic grandee line had been systematically whitewashed, re-emerging as purely white Spanish aristocracy. This, my friends, is what we call paper genocide at its most efficient and chillingly effective. Across these diverse cases, from Florence to London, from Scotland to Vienna and Spain, the playbook for historical erasure repeats with an almost eerie consistency. It's like watching the same insidious script played out again and again, just with different actors and settings. Asterisk portraits. Overpainted or hidden. Asterisk. We've seen it with Alessandro, his dark skin meticulously lightened, his distinct features softened. It's a visual lie, crafted to fit a preferred narrative. 2. Asterisk nicknames like Moro, changed to Moretti, then anglicized. Asterisk, the very language used to describe these individuals was systematically altered, stripping away their racial identity, sanding down anything that might seem too ethnic. Asterisk, chronicles rewritten by 19th-century nationalists who equated whiteness with legitimacy. Asterisk, asterisk, as nation-states solidified and imperial ambitions grew, there was a desperate need to create a pure national identity. Inconvenient truths about diverse ancestries were simply edited out, creating a monolithic, often fictional, past. For asterisk museum labels using euphemisms, North African influence. Swarthy complexion, never black royal. Asterisk, it's a clever linguistic sleight of hand, isn't it? Acknowledging a vague influence or a complexion without ever confronting the actual racial identity keeps the discomfort at bay. 5. Archives restricting access. Letters cataloged under MISC rather than family folders. Sometimes the erasure isn't about outright destruction, but about making discovery incredibly difficult. Burying records in obscure corners, mislabeling them, or simply making them inaccessible to researchers means these stories remain hidden from plain sight. Now, add to this already potent mix the colonial need to justify slavery by insisting that black people were always servants. Never sovereigns. Never people of power or prestige. Combine all these elements, and you get centuries of collective amnesia. A deliberate forgetting that has shaped our understanding of history in profound ways. So, why does any of this matter right now, in the 21st century? Because representation isn't just about vanity. It profoundly shapes who feels entitled to lead, who feels they belong, and who feels seen in the grand tapestry of human history. When a British child of Jamaican heritage discovers the compelling evidence of Queen Charlotte's African ancestry, suddenly, the crown, the very symbol of British power, feels a little less alien, a little more connected to their own heritage. When an Italian student learns that the cradle of the powerful Medici family once held a biracial duke, their ideas about who belongs in the narrative of European greatness begin to shift, to expand. Erasing these vital stories wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate act, a political project designed to fortify racial hierarchies that, tragically, continue to fuel inequalities today. Reinstating them, bringing them back into the light, isn't about rewriting history in some revisionist way. No, it's about repairing filling in the deliberate gaps, and restoring the full, complex, and beautiful truth of our shared past. It's about acknowledging the real diversity that has always existed, even when powerful forces tried to deny it. If this is your first time hearing these names, if these stories have genuinely surprised you, then you absolutely need to hit that subscribe button. History class left us all with some pretty significant gaps, and we're here to fill them weekly. Because lists keep the algorithm happy and our curiosity piqued. Here are just 5 more incredible figures we'll be profiling in future episodes. Trust me, their stories are just as mind-blowing. Ibrahim Hannibal. The godson of Peter the Great himself. A brilliant general in the Tsarist army, and the great-grandfather of Russia's national poet, Alexander Pushkin. Catalina de Medrano. A powerful black countess of Castile who, believe it or not, helped fund Columbus's second voyage to the Americas. Asterisk, 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 Juan Latino, asterisk, asterisk, a former slave who became a celebrated professor of Latin at Granada University under King Philip II, renowned across Europe for his intellect. Asterisk, asterisk, Angelo Solomon, asterisk, asterisk, a fascinating figure who became a Viennese prince's tutor, prominent Freemason, and even a lodge brother of none other than Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Asterisk, 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 Dido Elizabeth Bell, asterisk, asterisk, the great-niece of Lord Mansfield, whose unique position in British aristocracy played a pivotal role in changing British slave law. Their portraits, their legacies, still hang in plain sight, their faces quietly asserting that Europe's historical palette was never, ever monochrome. So, what can you do with this knowledge? How can you help bring these stories fully into the light? First, asterisk, asterisk, demand transparency from institutions. Asterisk, asterisk, push museums to publish high-resolution images of their collections online. This allows crowdsourced analysis to expose those subtle overpaintings, those convenient adjustments that have hidden the truth for centuries. Second, asterisk, asterisk, supports scholars who are fighting to digitize overlooked archives. Asterisk, asterisk, many dedicated historians are crowdfunding right now, trying to make these vital records accessible to everyone. A few dollars can make a huge difference in uncovering lost histories. Third, asterisk, asterisk, correct the myth. Asterisk, asterisk, the next time someone claims there were no black people in Europe until slavery, you'll have the facts, the names, the stories, challenge that ignorance with knowledge. And finally, asterisk, asterisk, share primary sources. Asterisk, asterisk, when you find letters, parish registers, old payrolls, or any other tangible evidence of black presence and power, share it widely. Evidence silences skeptics and dismantles false narratives far more effectively than outrage ever will. Let the facts speak for themselves. Drop a comment below with the name you want us to deep dive into next. The most requested story gets its own dedicated episode. And while you're typing, please smash that like button so YouTube's algorithm shows this truth to someone else who might still be stuck in that whitewashed past. Let's make sure these stories are heard. Europe's ancient castles and grand palaces echo with footsteps far darker, far more diverse than their portraits often admit. Alessandro governed Florence with an iron will. Charlotte advised kings and shaped a nation. Gideon bore Scottish arms with pride. Ludwig guarded emperors with his life. And the Mendoza grandees managed vast viceroyalties. Yet, for too long, textbooks have relegated them to mere footnotes, if they mention them at all. Their erasure wasn't some accidental oversight. It was a deliberate, calculated political project, and we are finally exposing the cracks in that facade. Remember this powerful truth. When you reclaim just one ancestor, when you bring one hidden story back into the light, you don't just rewrite a paragraph in a history book. You loosen the very cement that keeps entire unjust hierarchies standing. So, the next time someone confidently declares black royalty is an oxymoron, you'll have 5 names, 5 compelling stories, and 5 undeniable reasons to reply with absolute certainty history lied. Here's the proof.